Hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. Today we have a Metazoo estimated value tracker, collection tracker thing for you. This is something I'm working on kind of behind the scenes right now. If you want access to a collection tracker from Metazoo, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Gets you access to this collection tracker. I also have a Flesh and Blood collection tracker, and that's kind of what I'm known for in the Flesh and Blood community. And this is, we're trying to do a Metazoo one. This is in beta right now. We don't have all the samples. We don't have all the promos. Really, you're just dealing with Kickstarter and first edition. It's just too much work to track all the values of all the promos and the samples. So right now, that's where we are. We're working on a way to do that behind the scenes. But if you want access to that, go on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Patrons, you already have access to this. I will send out another post today, just sharing it with you again so that you can utilize it. Let's talk about Kickstarter first. Right now, it's so weird. The world is crazy. Kickstarter boxes are around $6,000, but let's take a look at sold listings. You've got one that's sold for $4,700 on the 31st, and then one that's sold for $6,800 on the 1st. And I know of a few that have sold between $5,500 and $6,000 on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and call the price this week at $6,000. Tomorrow could be tomorrow could be a $10,000 box. Tomorrow it could be a $4,000 box. Tomorrow it could be a $6,000 box. It is a very volatile market right now for Metazoo, especially in the Kickstarter stuff. A lot of people trying to get product, a lot of people trying to move stuff. It's an interesting world. Let's take a look at the auras. We will calculate this without the auras, without the non-foils, as well as with the foils. I just want to share with you everything. So we calculate this, me and a team of people calculate this on TCG Player usually for these things. So you're sitting about $15 on average, which they have increased the prices of 20%. The Terra for Kickstarter is sitting at around $21 on average. That is a 17% increase from the last time I did this, which was all the way back on 8/18 for the record. Looking at the non-foil bronze, keep in mind this is just utilizing TCG Player and sold listings and current listed. This is really only up 13%. These should all be percentages, sorry. Really only up 13% here to an average of $5.20. We'll talk about some of the more important stuff when we get into the rainbow foils and hollows. Right now, your non-foil silvers, are you able to see what's on the bottom of this? You are not. This is the non-foil silvers. Are averaging out at a percentage of $5.36. Sorry, I usually have a different setup now, so I'm not used to doing this, and I'm using my computer. Let me make this smaller so you can see what I'm looking at. Make sure you go watch eventually I think we'll have this set up like we have for the Flesh and Blood ones, but right now we're just not there. So we'll call it like this. This is how it is. Boom. All right, as you're continuing to look at this, that's your non-foil silvers. Let's hop over to the first things. We have the reverse hollow bronze. Right now, your average reverse hollow bronze is sitting at $76. Very, very high compared to just 2 months ago when we were sitting at $35. That's a 20% increase over when I did these updates on the 17th of whatever August that is. So you're seeing like Tripodoro. This is the one that's really, really sought after. It was a mistake print. That one's sitting around $400 on sold listings. The rest of them are kind of sitting in the $40 to $50 range. This is really skewing the average quite a bit. Looking at the reverse hollow silvers, you're sitting on an average of $60, which is up 58% from the last time we did this. They're just all over the place going up. So what you're seeing is collectors trying to fill out their collections. They're opening boxes, and then they're buying the singles of what they don't have. Reverse hollow gold, a Mothman reverse hollow gold, sitting around $620. Now, keep in mind, there is one of these that has a blemish on it that's printed, and that's the one that we're tracking at $620. There is one that's without the blemish that is more in line with the full hollow price that you'll see here pretty soon. Loveland Frogman up to $400 on sold listing. The Pizza Bird up to $200. You're seeing a lot of movements. Chaos Crystal $275. You're seeing a lot of movements. Your average price here for the reverse hollow gold is sitting at $117, which is up 22%. Looking at your hollow golds, you've got a Mothman that has not moved up since the last time, sitting at $1,800, so that price point is a little bit old. You've got the Jersey Devil that's more than doubling in price, so a lot of weird things going on. Chupacabra actually going down. There's a lot of movement, a lot of volatility, a lot of volatile market movements going on in the world right now. Uncle Sam at $300. You're seeing Sam Sinclair at 425. You're seeing Chaos Crystal around 1,000. This puts your average hasn't really increased. It's interesting. Your average is only up 4% from when we did this 3 weeks ago. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now on your hollow golds. Let's talk about the EV then. So this is how this is calculated out. This is all based on data that's from the Discord server. I think it was Mike that said it. So all the pull rates are in here, and it's calculated out on average. So on average, you're going to get 144 bronze cards, 108 silver. That's going to add $748 to the bronze and $583 to the silver. That's what this calculation right here calculates. That includes all the cards, including the non-foils. This calculation only includes the foils. So this is only going to include, you can see on the marker, it's only picking up from here to here, not including the Aura or the Terra. So that's really important because this is, I think, the value that you can expect to get out of it. You might be able to sell this stuff as bulk, but you're seeing Rainbow reverse hollow bronze. You're supposed to get about 6.3 of them, so that averages out to $482. You should get about 4.5 reverse hollow silvers. That's about $271. You should get 13.2 rainbow hollow golds. That's about $1,548. And then you get 12 hollow gold cards in each box, which gives you a whopping $3,000. So just keep that in mind. You're going to get 12 of these, and that's really where most of the value is sitting in these cards. And it's really interesting to see that this has not skyrocketed like a lot of the other things have. 22%. 58%. We're seeing a lot of movements in the other things and not the higher value stuff, which is super interesting. The higher value stuff is more in line with the increase of the box price. So that probably tells me that most of the sold and attitude of the collectors that they need things is tracking with the box price. You can pick and choose what you think. You can either tell me, are these hollow golds undervalued then because they haven't ticked up as much? Are the sealed product undervalued then because it hasn't ticked up as much compared to these other things that are all up 12 to 20 to 25%. So yeah, that's your EV calculation for this set right now for Kickstarter. You're sitting at about $5,326. Honestly, I mean, if you can get a box for $5,500, which I really think you can on on Facebook, it's probably worth it to crack open a box and sell the singles and see if you can get yourself a double Mothman or something like that and win some money. If you got $5,500 to gamble with, if you have less money to gamble with, you could go on over to First Edition, where boxes are currently sitting at around $435. Absolutely crazy. That is up. That's not up at all from last week's price, but we are up pretty good from, let's see where we were last time. You were up 74% from the 11th. So interesting to see that. Let's take a look at what's going on. The Aura is really not worth much. Your Terra's sitting at about $1.26. I would not include this stuff in your calculation. This is kind of just showing you what this is like, lands and whatever. Your non-foil bronze sitting at an average of about 82 cents. Probably don't want to include them in your calculation. It's going to be hard to sell. This is all TCG player. Your non-foil silvers, about 84 cents. There's not really a huge difference between the bronze and the silvers. It's just people who are picking up cards to build decks and things. Your reverse hollow bronze are down 50% to an average of $3.23. So keep that in mind. Your reverse hollows, you're going to get, I think, what do we say? We'll talk about it then. Your average, though, is around $3.23. This has lost significant value from last week when we ran the numbers, and the week before that, it didn't lose value. So I think what you're starting to see is more people entering the TCG market, the TCG player market, and that's probably what's causing some of these downturns. The reverse hollow silvers are also down 38% to an average of $3.86. And your reverse hollow golds are down 15% to an average of $7.49. We've got your Mothman at 67, your Pizza Bird at 13. You've got the Flatwoods Monster actually ticking up a little bit at 5. You start seeing some stuff. Chupacabra at 9. You've got Chaos Crystal sitting at 30. That hasn't ticked down. So you're sitting at $7.49. Let's take a look at the hollow golds, as that's kind of where most of your money is going to be as we figure out why my mouse isn't moving. Wow, that was weird. All right, here we go. Your hollow golds, Mothman down to 160. This, there were sold listings even before this at the $400-500 mark on eBay, but right now you're sitting at 160. You've got Uncle Sam at 25, Chessie at 24, Loveland Frogman at 26, Pizza Bird at 26. You're seeing an average price here. You got the Chaos Crystal at 55. You're seeing an average price here of about $18, which is down about 19%. I don't see a huge change based on, you got some of the Obnoxious 9 is higher, but it just seems like everything across the board is kind of ticking in the downwards trend. Let me pull up some of my notes that I had sitting here, and I think like the key here is it worth it to open up a box? And that's a great question. I think that's a really good question. Another question though is, what do you think you should be investing in? You've got some of the things that you should scoop up. I think like the full hollow and reverse hollow, if you look for bundles, they're really going for less. Like if you start looking at bundles and looking at lots, that's a really great way to get some of the collection in there. And the availability is really, really thin, specifically on the Kickstarter things for foils. But there's other things that are also starting to thin out, and I think some of the Obnoxious 9 are those things. So let's hop over and talk about the box topper. I haven't really seen red ink sell for a while. I know of a couple that are for sale. I would say about $5,000 is probably the asking price. The other box toppers are sitting around $70. This is not calculated in, what is this pulling up? On average, I'm not sure why that average is all skewed. The average here should be $70 because they are all $70. But the EV here, as we take a look at this, this isn't picking up right. This should be $70. Sorry. The EV, as we calculated this all out, you're sitting at, again, don't include these bronze, don't include these silver. If you do include those, you're sitting at $676. What you should be including is just the foils. That's probably what you're going to be able to sell. You're going to get the 6.5 rainbow. This is the same calculation. This is the same stuff based on the Kickstarter calculation. So keep in mind, one other thing I want to say before we get into it is that the boxes are extremely spiky. We've seen boxes with 4 Mothmen. We've seen boxes that have no Mothmen. It's going to be very spiky. You're gambling even at these numbers. So right now you can see the reverse hollow bronze add $20, your reverse hollow silver add $17, your reverse hollow gold add $98, and your hollows add $213 for the gold one. So your box topper is going to be $70. So you can expect a valuation here about $419 added into your boxes. So that's the EV of right now. Again, I think it's still worth it to open boxes. You're going to make pretty much your money back, especially if you were able to get boxes at a cheaper price than what they are currently selling for. I think you're gambling here on hitting a multiple Mothman or multiple Chaos Crystal box. And that's kind of is what it is. So hope you guys enjoy that. Remember to be kind to the people around you. And if you're looking for a way to track your Metazoo collection, that's just Kickstarter and first edition, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Hopefully we'll have a Nightfall bundle. I don't know what our allocation is yet, but that's what we're gearing up for, is a Nightfall bundle. That being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again for another video in a little bit.